whole GOAT term is never going to be something that I ever will get high or low about, you know. It just doesn't exist with me. I never played against Oscar Robert or Jerry West. Would have loved to. Absolutely love to. Just as competitive as I am. You know, and I actually learned from them, you know, and we, you know, paved the road to the Kobe's and the LeBrons, right? You know, and to me, it's the beauty of the game of basketball that a player after a previous player has evolved the game further. But don't then, in essence, this is where I look at it, you know, don't then now use that against the player that actually taught you the game or that you learned from. And that's why I have a tough time. And, you know, look, I would love to have played against LeBron and, you know, Kobe in my prime. You know, I would love to have played, you know, against those guys. But we'll never be able to.
He did not need a podcast tour. He did not need to fire back at LeBron line by line. One response was enough. While the GOAT debate keeps getting louder every year, Jordan gave the kind of answer only he could give. He basically said he does not even like being called the greatest. Not because he doubts himself, but because he believes the title disrespects the legends who came before him. And somehow that answer made his case even stronger. Jordan did not beg for the crown. He did not campaign for it. He did not sit there counting rings or attacking LeBron. He took the debate and made it bigger than himself. He mentioned the players before him, the players he never got to face, the greats from older eras. And that is why the response hit so hard, because the man most people already call the GOAT sounded like the only one not desperate to own the label. LeBron, of course, was asked recently, just talking about if everybody was kind of you could draft everybody. Who would you draft? And he went ahead and said that I would draft myself. This was in a timepiece, and he was talking about I would draft myself, and I feel like all the other great players would do the same thing as well. They would draft themselves. That LeBron answer is the reason this whole debate came back again. LeBron was asked the question. He answered like a superstar should. He said he would take himself. There is nothing wrong with confidence. Every great player believes he is the best. But the contrast is what made fans go crazy. LeBron claimed the crown. Jordan stepped back from it. And somehow stepping back made Jordan look even more powerful. That is the strange thing about Michael Jordan. He never had to chase the GOAT debate. The debate chased him. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, no finals losses, 10 scoring titles, Defensive Player of the Year, 5 regular season MVPs, and the biggest cultural impact basketball had ever seen. Jordan's case does not need much explaining. It's built into the memory of the sport. Jordan drives, hangs, fires, scores. He scores. The Bulls lead 87-86. Oh my. That shot is why the debate never dies. It was not just a game winner. It was the perfect ending. The steal, the isolation, the pull-up, the pose, the silence in Utah, then the 6th ring. Players dream of ending a career chapter like that. Jordan actually did it. And when fans compare him to LeBron, this is always the image they come back to. The biggest stage, the biggest moment, the cleanest finish. LeBron fans will say longevity matters. And they're right. What LeBron has done for more than 20 years is almost impossible. He became the all-time scoring leader. He won titles with 3 teams. He carried teams deep into the playoffs over and over. He stayed elite when most stars would have been retired. That is real greatness. But Jordan fans answer with one word: peak. Instead of letting other people glorify you or give you your flowers, or a guy like me come on television that been through the trenches with you since childhood, let me come on and tell the world why you're the GOAT. You sit back and just accept the flowers. We never hear Jordan say it. And here we are again. That is where the debate always splits. LeBron has the longevity argument. Jordan has the dominance argument. LeBron has the total numbers. Jordan has the perfect finals record. LeBron has the all-around game. Jordan has the killer closing image. But Jordan's one response changed the tone because it made the debate feel less like self-promotion and more like history. Jordan was basically saying greatness cannot be measured only by people who watched your era. That's deeper than most GOAT arguments because every generation thinks its star is the best. The older fans say Jordan. Younger fans say LeBron. Some fans still bring up Kareem. Some bring up Bill Russell. Some bring up Magic or Bird. Jordan's answer respected that. He didn't erase anyone to lift himself. Spun it against the glass and good. There's nobody alive that's been able to do just that. That boy is too bad. I'm telling you right now. But LeBron is a bad boy, too. He's a bad boy, but he's not Michael. That is why other legends matter in this debate. When Magic speaks about Jordan, it carries weight. When Larry Bird called Jordan different, it carried weight. When players who actually competed in that era talk about the fear Jordan created, it feels different from social media arguing. They are not reacting to highlight reels. They remember the pressure. They remember the preparation. They remember what it felt like to face him. Jordan's greatness was not only the points. It was the way he made everyone feel like the game was already slipping away. He could beat you with scoring. He could beat you with defense. He could beat you with mind games. He could beat you before the ball even went up because the whole building believed he would find a way. That is the part stats cannot fully explain. Here come the benches. And leadership has a price. So I pull people along when they didn't want to be pulled. I challenge people when they don't want to be challenged. And I earned that right because my teammates came after me. They didn't endure all the things that I endured. That mentality is the center of the Jordan case. He was not trying to be liked inside the locker room. He was trying to win. He pushed teammates. He demanded perfection. He made practice feel like war. That approach was not soft. It was not always pretty, but it produced results. And when people ask why Jordan still owns so much of the GOAT debate, that is a big reason. He did not just win, he created a standard. LeBron created a different standard. He became the model of longevity. He showed that a player could dominate for 20 years. He could be the scorer, passer, leader, brand, and system all at once. That deserves respect. But Jordan supporters say the GOAT debate is not only about how long you stayed great. It is about how high you reached when you were at your best. And in Jordan's prime, nobody touched him. He's played against both of them in their prime. MJ. Is it like clear-cut? It's clear-cut. Everything he does is just masterful, man. It shows the debate is not just fans yelling online. Even players are split. Some respect LeBron's body of work. Some still point to Jordan's peak. Some younger players grew up watching LeBron. Older players grew up fearing Jordan. That is why the answer changes depending on who you ask. But Jordan's one response cuts through that noise. He did not try to win the argument by disrespecting anyone else. And that may be the biggest reason fans still lean toward him. Jordan's competitive ego was massive. Everyone knows that. But when the GOAT label came up, he didn't act insecure. He didn't need to remind people of every ring. He didn't need to say LeBron could never touch him. He let the resume speak. Then he gave respect to the names before him. That confidence feels different. It feels like a man who knows the debate will come back to him anyway. Mike, look at this. Tough drive by Michael Jordan. That shows the whole case. The hang time, the footwork, the mid-range, the dunks, the steals, the finals moments, the celebrations, the image of a player who became bigger than the league itself. That is why Jordan does not need to argue. His career is the argument. LeBron saying he would take himself made headlines, and it should have. He has earned the right to believe that. But Jordan's answer hit different because it reminded everyone what the GOAT debate is supposed to be. It is not just a fight between two fan bases. It's a conversation about eras, standards, pressure, winning, longevity, dominance, respect. Jordan did not end the debate by saying, "I am the greatest." He ended it by refusing to beg for the title. That is what makes the response so cold. The crown is already there. The rings are already there. The moments are already there. The record is already there. The fear is already there. The legacy is already there. And when a player can step back from the GOAT label while the whole basketball world still puts him at the center of it, that says everything. LeBron made his case with confidence. Jordan made his case with silence, respect, and 6 rings. That is why the debate always comes back to him.